Hi, and welcome to QuadCast. I'm Lewis, and today I'm joined by Kirsty, a Senior Account Manager here at AlphaQuad. Kirsty, it's lovely to have you on. Thanks so much for being here.
Hi Lewis, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. It's lovely to have you on. So, Kirsty, I've got a series of questions to ask you today. It's the similar format to everybody else's, so I just want to jump straight in with, when did you join AlphaQuad?
So I've been here nearly 6 years now. I joined in summer 2018. It was just before my 30th birthday, actually. So yeah, I'm getting old with the business.
You're not getting old. 36 is not old.
I'm 10 years older than you.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean old. And I remember when I first asked you this question before, just in preparation for this episode, you said that you had to remember based on what car you were driving at the time.
Yes. Yeah, so that's how I remember events, by whichever car reg I had at the time.
Pretty significant metric. I remember things based on when music comes out. So I generally remember things based on, like, when did the last Taylor Swift album come out? That's what was going on in my life at the time, which...
That's probably a bit more exciting, to be honest.
Well, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. A lot of the time it was, oh, I remember that album. We were in lockdown and this came out.
Yeah.
Which not quite as exciting, but it gets me by. So I have to ask, 6 years is quite a long time to stay with AlphaQuad. And I think something that's been quite unanimous amongst everybody is that we've all worked here a very long time. So what is it about AlphaQuad that's made you stick around for so long?
I'd imagine everyone has said the same thing to this, but definitely the people. We are like a little family, I'd say. But as well as that, the clients are great as well. I'm really lucky to work with some really great people. And I really enjoy working client side, which I enjoyed, but I've never worked with an agency before now. And I actually enjoy working with an agency more because you get to work on loads of different projects, different industries, different people, and no day is the same.
Yeah, that's something that I've found. I mean, just myself answering that question, it's no day is the same, as you say. So there's a different challenge every day. There's a different task every day, and it's always enjoyable. It's always challenging, but in the best possible way. And so something that I think has posed quite a new challenge, I think is possibly the wrong word, but something that has been a new experience for all of us is the QuadCast. Yes. A lot of us, it is the first time that any of us have ever been on mic before. How have you found it kind of experiencing starting the QuadCast, and are you excited about it?
I'm so excited about it. There's so much we can do with it, and obviously I handle social media here at AlphaQuad as well, so I'm working closely with you and I'm excited to get it out on social media and really show our personalities, more about us and our backgrounds and everything. Yeah, definitely.
I think we've got some really great content lined up for when the episodes go out. Obviously, we need to record a lot of episodes to make that content last and to make it work. But we've it's been a really exciting experience to be able to work so closely with you on it. So it's been great, and I'm absolutely loving doing it so far. So I'd just like to ask, what did you do before you started at AlphaQuad, and has that helped with your social media presence now?
Yeah, I've worked with a few different companies, different industries, different sizes. So, for example, I worked for Jewson, which is in the construction industry, and it's part of a bigger global organisation, Saint-Gobain. My role there sort of grew into a social media and content role, and I managed a campaign which was called Tricky Dip, which was actually really exciting, and I got to work closely with Nissan, and we basically gave away a truck to someone. And it was actually someone in Stratford-upon-Avon who won, and they chose a Nissan Navara. Nice. Good choice. I've also worked with Carndine Design Flooring over in Evesham. They're sort of a medium-sized business, and my role there was sort of similar to an agency, I guess, because I was in the global team there, and I helped out the local teams in the UK, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Europe as well. So I sort of supported all the teams there and helping with the website stuff. And I've worked for other international companies, smaller companies as well. So I have got a varied background, which I think helps a lot when it comes to working with different size clients at AlphaQuad. So I think my understanding of how different businesses work internally does contribute towards my work as an account manager.
Yeah, definitely. I think as we've already said before, I think the work on a day-to-day basis is so varied. And I think having worked in a vast amount of different sectors and settings is really definitely going to be beneficial for that work as an account manager.
Yeah.
So moving into a little bit more of your social media role now. Mm-hmm. Now, something that we've been quite passionate about doing in starting the QuadCast is just boosting our social media presence just that little bit more, just to get our face out there.
Yeah.
Now, something that you've been doing for all of us is creating these company bios, which reduce us down to these fun little anecdotes that just, give off a little bit about our personalities and just what we do in our day-to-day lives. Now, You've given yourself the title, the Puppy Wrangler, which I think, knowing the situation, I would agree. But would you care to talk on that at all?
Yeah, so I got a puppy called Sky, probably about January, I think.
Yeah.
And she is wild. So I felt like puppy owner, puppy mum, puppy parent, it just wasn't a strong enough term. She keeps me on my toes.
Yes.
And she is crazy. So she's very good, when she needs to be. But if I take her out on the training lead, for example, I do feel like a puppy wrangler. She is going mad. She's wrapping me up. She's wrapping herself up. She's wrapping other dogs up in the lead, other dog owners as well. It is chaos.
Chaos in the best possible way? Or
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Well, good. Organised chaos, destructive chaos.
Yes.
It's all part of the fun of owning a puppy. They do calm down. They do calm down eventually. But
Let's hope so.
It takes a while. It feels like they never will, but they do. Just they get easier over time. So I'd like to ask, so obviously with your role as a senior account manager and running the AlphaQuad socials, I'd quite like to know how your role has changed over time, if at all, because I think that something that has been quite unanimous, again, amongst everybody's answers, is that career progression has been something that everybody has noted as being something that's been really attractive to AlphaQuad.
Yeah.
So how have you found that career progression has impacted you?
Yeah, so I've sort of done a few different things here. I came in as an account manager for a large client, one of our biggest clients, and it was really a heavy focus on web projects, working with our design team and developers on lots of campaigns. And then I started to manage some more companies as well, so some more clients, including some SMEs, started doing some more social media, a lot of data analysis and reporting, some SEO as well. And then I really started to bring my social media knowledge in when I started to do some quite large social audit and strategy projects and management of those as well. And that's when I started to take on the AlphaQuad social media too. So it has really developed into more of a strategic role for me, which I love.
I think you are very strategically minded, and I mean that in the nicest possible way that I can. You're very good at kind of planning that strategy and making sure that everything is organised in a very methodical and sensible way that just everybody can understand, which really helps me because you're using systems that I'd never heard of when I first started working here. So it was something that you've had to show me how to use a cloud campaign, and I'd never heard of that before. So coming into AlphaQuad, having to learn this brand new site and learning the language of it and understanding how it adapts with LinkedIn, that's been a challenge, but I mean, you've got it down to a T. You run it like the Navy.
Brilliant. I think my OCD helps there.
Yeah, I can imagine so. It's the organisation is kind of off the charts, which pretty great.
Right, thank you.
So, Kirsty, obviously being in charge of AlphaQuad social media content, social media has had this kind of real evolution in the last few years specifically. And I think since the pandemic, there's been a real shift in the way that people engage with social media.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, with that evolving nature of social media and the popularity of each platform shifting on what feels like a daily basis sometimes, how do you balance appropriate social media content creation with what is currently trending?
Well, the main thing to remember about social media and marketing in general really is that it's about the audience, not about us. People don't want you to just sell at them. It's boring, it's not engaging. It's good to get some of the selling in there, but you need to share useful information, position yourself as an industry expert, share your knowledge. It's all about expertise and experience, sharing case studies, testimonials, really to help build that trust and authority as well. not just pushing our services all the time. Because if people see that we are industry experts, we have case studies to show that, we are trustworthy, we have the experience, and obviously we need to show our personality as well, then people will be interested in what we do and they will naturally engage with us in that way.
Yeah, exactly. Something that you and I have had the conversation about quite frequently is TikTok, and we don't have a TikTok presence. And in a way, I'm almost against it because I think TikTok has a really fickle nature to it that just doesn't necessarily jive with, I don't know, a business social media strategy.
Yeah.
I think the way that Gen Z specifically and Gen Alpha will come to find out, but the way that they engage with social media now is so different to the way that kind of millennials and older generations interact with it, because it's significantly more personalized, and everything is so... People want personalized content for themselves to consume for that kind of instant hit of dopamine that they know that they can get from it. And I think that TikTok is something that doesn't necessarily, as I say, it doesn't really jive with social media marketing, because people just don't really buy into that anymore. It's people don't want to be sold something. If they want something, they'll seek it out for themselves.
Yeah, I agree. And just because you need social media to help engage your brand with audiences doesn't mean that you should have every single social media platform. There's lots of platforms out there, but you need to be able to see what is relevant to your audience. Who are you targeting? What kind of message do you want to get across? How much time do you have? And how much content do you have? A lot of people, when I'm looking at their social media presence, they will be on every single platform possible. And there's just loads of content gaps, loads of gaps where they haven't posted for ages because they don't really know what to do with it. And they don't have enough content. They don't have enough time for it. And actually, they've come to find that their audience is not there. It's not relevant. So TikTok might be relevant for some B2C brands, for example. B2B, not necessarily so much.
Yeah, exactly. I think that it's the typified statement of just because you can doesn't mean that you should.
Absolutely.
So it's an ever evolving nature, and Facebook is, in a way, it's on its way out. Facebook isn't the most popular one anymore. Instagram has very quickly been replaced by TikTok, and TikTok will eventually be replaced by something in a few years.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's a changing nature to it that is unsettling because it doesn't let you settle.
Yes.
So I'd quite like to move on away from that now, because I think we're going to eventually just fall into some kind of fatalistic conversation about humans doom scrolling. So I just wanted to know, are there any specific social media platforms that you have found in your campaign strategies that work best for specific things? I know we got a little bit into this, but are there any specifically that you find are really effective?
I think, again, it depends on the client, on their business model, on their campaign goals as well. But that is why we work closely with our clients to make sure that we get the right strategy and we're working with the right platforms. So there's not really one particular platform that I could say works best overall. It really is important to have that good working relationship with our clients, which I think we do, to really analyse what will work for them. Yeah,
exactly. I think that we are effectively just doing the work for the client, and their word is final at the end of the day. So, if a client was to come to us and say, we'd like to be on this social media platform, of course we can advise against or for, but if they want to, it's their decision, and we'll do a good job of it regardless. So
Of course we will.
Of course we will. Not to blow smoke a little bit too much, but we will. So moving away entirely from social media now, I'd just like to get a little bit more into industry-specific stuff. So has there been, within your time at AlphaQuad, has there been a certain industry that you've really enjoyed working with? Or is there anything that really stands out to you as, that's been my favourite?
I've quite enjoyed working in the construction industry. So obviously, when I did social media at Jewson, so I managed the national platforms, and I found that you could really make it quite fun in the construction industry as well. And you got so much engagement, and there was so much opportunity for content.
Yeah.
And I did really enjoy that industry. And I'm lucky because one of my clients, here at AlphaQuad is in the construction industry. So I still get to continue that, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It brings over that expertise that you'd already developed and all of everything that you spent so long learning with Juice and to this now. So I'm wondering now, has there been an area of social media or digital marketing as a whole that you have found challenging?
I wouldn't say a particular area that I found challenging. What I think the main challenge is as an agency is understanding the client and their business, and that really shows the importance of having that strong relationship and communication with the client, because the client is the expert. So when you're working client side, you are the expert and you're marketing your business.
Yeah.
When you're working agency side, the client is the expert. So it really is important to get good onboarding when you start with a new client and maintaining a really good working relationship to make sure that you have that really good communication, because the more information you can get from the client, the better we can market their business.
Yeah, that's a great answer. That's a hard act to follow, actually, in terms of anything. So I would like to move away a little bit from AlphaQuad now, and I'd like to ask you something a little bit more personal, if that's all right.
Okay.
So something that you set up a few years ago was a business that's very near and dear to your heart, something that kind of fulfills something creatively for you, and something that acts as a support system for other women. So you know where I'm going with this, so I just wonder if you'd like to introduce.
Yes, so back in, trying to think about my car reg again. I think it was 2018, or maybe 2019. I started IVF. Very difficult process, but so incredible at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was looking for support in the IVF community and fertility community, and I came across IVF milestone cards, and they're great because they can help you to log your journey. And I decided I wanted to make some myself, so I made some for myself, and then I thought, you know what, I would like to share these with the community as well.
Yeah.
So I got them printed, and now I sell them in loads of different designs. And my business is called Fertile Mind. And I really enjoy it. And the clients are just so lovely. So I often get bespoke requests. So fairly recently I did a marble design of my IVF milestone cards for someone. There's some people who ask me for bespoke messaging and things like that. And I've sort of branched out towards doing labour affirmation cards, pregnancy milestone cards, and lots of other things like that. And it's so nice because I feel like, I am still part of that community, and it's nice to be able to support other people as well. Yeah,
exactly. I think that it's such an incredible thing to be able to do, especially IVF must be something that is such an incredibly challenging but really beautiful time.
Yes, exactly.
In that journey. So it's amazing that you can take your experience with it, which obviously gave you your lovely son, and create some support and some networks for other women that are struggling with the same thing. So it's a really amazing thing. And
thank you.
We'll make sure we link you in the episode description. So I'd just like to move on to yet another personal question, but this one is a little bit more lighthearted in tone.
Okay.
So Kirsty, if you were a biscuit, what would you be and why?
That's a good one. I think I would probably be a jammy dodger.
Okay.
Because I'm a little bit different.
Okay, so how would you then eat the jammy dodger? Do you take the top half from the bottom half and then eat them separately, or do you just go for it in one?
Oh, I go for it in one. Yeah, you got to get everything together.
You beast.
Thank you.
You take them apart. Take them apart. You always take the biscuit apart.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, Kirsty.
And what if you pile them on top of each other and have a double jammy dodger?
No.
Oh, you got to try it.
But considering that I eat the top half and then the bottom half first, that's 4 in 1. Like I'm trying to get the most out of my biscuits. So I'll eat 2 in, I'll get 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah.
That's 4 biscuits that I could eat. Oh, Kirsty.
That's true. Maybe I'll try your strategy.
No, listen, I'm not here to tell you that anybody's wrong, even though I did just spend a good 5 minutes
sounds like
that you're wrong. But, give it a go.
Okay. You've got to give it a go as well.
I make this promise to you on the record. I will give your way of eating a jammy dodger a go.
Wonderful. And I will do yours.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that we could come to that agreement. So this just moves me swiftly on. We're at the last question of the day now. So this is just another personal one. It's just a fun question that I've grown to really enjoy asking everybody at the end of these. Mm-hmm. So anytime that we turn on our TVs or our phones or look at the side of a bus, we're met with a marketing campaign for something.
Yep.
And that could be a film, it could be a new bit of technology, it could be whatever it is. And I'm just wondering, has there been anything for you that's made a real lasting impression where you've gone, that was a really good advert, or that was a really good marketing campaign? I'm really impressed by that.
Yeah, something that really stood out to me and still stands out to me is the Dove Real Beauty campaign.
Yeah. It
shows real women, which I think is so important at the moment to really challenge those negative stereotypes that are around. I think it's a really important message, and the brand becomes relatable and something that you would want to support as well. And I think they've used their brand really well there.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Dove adverts have always been really, really good. And I think they've always been really good at being just that inclusive.
I think it's a really strong message.
Yeah, it really is. So they've always done a really good job with their adverts.
Yes.
So it's that's a wonderful answer. Thank you very much for sharing that. So, Kirsty, that wraps us up for today. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been really amazing to have you on, and I can't wait to have you back on again soon.
Thanks for having me.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for listening, everybody, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.